Hey, Ed Donahue back at you again tonight, talking the Meet app. In the message to the sales team that I shared tonight, I talked about the importance of using the Meet app and talking about the people who are actually coming out to do the work. And what I wanted to do was just kind of share some of the Meet app examples that we've got out there. And obviously, I talked about the value of it. But my challenge to you all as the sales leaders in the regions and across the divisions is making sure that your Meet apps are tuned up so that your salespeople can use them in the way that I think is pretty valuable when they're out talking to customers, and that's first and foremost making sure that that we've got them tight so that they can then learn how to share and talk about the people that are actually going to be doing the work. I think oftentimes that's overlooked, and I think we've got a great amount of tenure that we can share with folks that allows us to gives us a bit of a competitive advantage, particularly as we move it into some of our most competitive, I guess, typical old school lead seasons. So first and foremost, this is a shot of my iPad. Obviously, I would encourage you as you travel around and you travel through your branches and meet with your salespeople to make sure that they've got some sort of screensaver that kind of personalizes it and stirs conversation. This just happens to be my three wonderful granddaughters: Peyton on the left, Riley in the middle, and Emma on the right hand side. So again, just a conversation starter when they're into it. And just one of those things that I've talked about before. So let's talk about the Meet app, and I'm going to share a couple of examples with you, a couple of good ones, and then a couple not so good ones. And it's not meant to call anybody out or to praise anybody inordinately, but I did want you to see what some good ones look like, in my opinion. Again, just one guy's humble opinion on what a good one looks like, and I'll start with this one here. This one just happens to be the Akron, Ohio branch. Jay Fusco is my old branch manager. I carried my sales bag for Jay in Akron, probably 23 years ago maybe. He probably still has nightmares about that. But as you can see with this, they've taken the time to really put the photos in. Thinking about being a salesperson in the Akron, Ohio branch and being able to tell this story. My boss has been around for 37 years. My service manager, Bobby DeCapit, has been around for 29. The other service manager, 18 years. And another brand new promoted service manager, Robbie Rico, with 4 years of experience. A very quality front office staff that's been around for a long time, a couple of account managers. Look at the tenure of the salespeople, the guys that are able to spin this Meet app and tell this story. Brandon with 29, Sunil with 24, Brian Clark with 25, Justin with 9. Then if you're selling termite work in Akron, if you're not talking about Lance Pitts, you're crazy. You've all heard me talk about him before. He was my termite tech way back when and just did a killer job, still around. Think about being able to tell that story. You're selling commercial business in Akron. You got Tim Lamont. Again, you kind of get the idea. You see as they go through the tenure. You also notice that they've got their hometowns. So while often we're perceived as this big national company, at the end of the day, what we are just a bunch of local folks that live and work and go to school and play ball in your territory, and your footprint just kind of covered up by that big brand, kind of the best of both worlds. So this kind of gives you that local spin when somebody says, I want to buy local. These folks are all local, kind of calling out their hometowns and things like that. It looks like Jay, as he brought new folks on, changed the background, and quite frankly, I prefer this red one if you look through it. But again, not nitpicking, but maybe we get all those other folks to get that background to the red and have Jay redo those shots, and particularly have Jay redo this shot with that Ohio State background there. So there's an example of a good one. I would encourage you to make sure that as you travel through here. So that's a residential one. Let me find the Columbus commercial branch. And again, the same thing. Some time and some thought put into it. Everybody's dressed up and cleaned up. You got Brett Cremines here, with 32 years of experience, the branch leader down there. Certainly some quality folks and some quality tenure up in the front office. You got Tony leading the way at the service manager, 23 plus years. The cool thing here that they did, they took a picture of a lot of, it's a highly awarded branch with lots of President's Club plaques, but they also have a whole bunch of gold medal partner awards that they've earned in the Columbus branch, so they kind of showcase that. But think about being a commercial salesperson in in Columbus, and being able to tell the story that, hey, Ryan Driscoll's going to be the guy that's going to service this area. He's been with us for 11 years, on and on. You kind of get the idea here. Hey, the good thing about you having bugs in this part of the city is Donnie Rice or Jim Bailey, with almost 30 plus years of experience. They've seen everything. Think about being able to tell that story and personalize your service. On and on and on. Just tremendous tenure in these branches. So And then we got our salespeople at the back end where they should be. If we're out there selling, we don't need to be the ones that are front and center. So think about the story you can tell using the Meet app across the board. Here's a couple. Again, not to call anybody out, but here's a couple that are, as we go through and we try to look at these. Here's a couple that are not so good. And again, it's not intended to call anybody out, but this one I'm going to go quickly through. We got some pictures that are sideways. We got lots of pictures. So we need a little bit of work in that branch. And then let's go to one more, and let me see if I can find it here. There it is. Let's go to this one. This one, we got a lot of camera shy folks in this branch, right? They didn't want to put their picture up. So we got to encourage them to not be so camera shy and get a picture in there. Well, that cute cartoon is kind of cute. It's been a long while since those commercials ran. So at the end of the day, what I'm going to shut that out. All you need to do as a region sales manager is just put all your branches in here, and then just periodically check them. I recommend you do it at least once a month. Maybe you pick a Saturday morning when you're sitting down having coffee and just tuning up your Meet apps across the board and just looking at them. As I flip through these, there's some really, really bad ones out there. There's a whole bunch of them that have managers that aren't in place anymore, right? That are no longer here that pop. So again, my challenge to you, as I challenge the salespeople tonight, is the challenge for the salespeople is to start to use the Meet app more to separate themselves. And my challenge to you as the leaders is to make sure that they have a tool that's up to date, fine-tuned with some good pictures, people cleaned up, good backgrounds, and squared away. So again, another screen recording to show you how easy it is to communicate. I don't think I went 10 minutes this time, but with that, I'm out. I appreciate all you do. Stay safe, sell some business, and let's get caught up in February.